believe we should be live now. How's it going, everyone? My name is Mitchell Mander here, and yeah, we're back. I literally just streamed less than 12 hours ago, so crazy stream. As you can tell, my throat is a little bit raspy after that stream, so just an FYI for the rest of the stream. But that's beside the point. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Horizons, episode 69, live. So, to the people that are new, that maybe come across this video / stream, whatever you want to call it, after the stream ends. So, what you're watching is obviously after the fact, but it's a live stream. So, what we do here is usually give it a couple minutes for people to show up. And then I get started. I usually summarize the episode for a few minutes, assign a rating, and then give it over to the chat, and then we talk for a while. I also answer questions as well. And then we talk about whatever after that point. I will say we'll probably be going for about an hour 15 minutes this time around, just because I got somewhere I need to be later, but guess we'll see what happens when we get there. In addition, the music you hear in the background comes from a separate stream, which I don't think I have the link up yet, so I'll actually put that on right now, just so that I don't get in trouble. But it comes from Video Game Study Lounge. I'll have a link in the description as soon as I can get it. But basically, as you can tell, it's basically lo-fi remixes of video game music, along with some originals in there. So, I usually listen to it when I'm studying, reading, working out. I'm at work, I need something to distract me during the workday. So, yeah. I have a link for it. I'm putting it out right about now. I'm just grabbing it from another video really quickly. I'm going to edit really quickly. And there it is. The link is out there. So if you want to check it out sometime, there you go. So let's see who's here. Looks like Pokefan is here. What's up, Pokefan? I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what to rate this episode. I definitely don't hate it, but I also wasn't that excited. I'll give my thoughts in a second. Like I said, my throat's a little raspy because, well, the Jamboree stream last night was crazy. And I kind of screamed a lot too, so I'm definitely feeling it today. Cat123, hey, what's going on? Welcome in. How are you doing? I think this is the first time Horizons actually made me truly go meh. Huh. Okay. That's fair enough. Hey, what's going on, Thomas? How are you doing? Pokemon switching bodies with trainer seems goofy for me. It was definitely it definitely was a thing. The synchro machine stuff was kind of neat that they referenced it in the anime. And was not expecting them to actually do something like that, but it was neat. But we'll get to my thoughts here in just a minute. We'll get started here in about a minute. Hey, and speaking of which, we got some Pokemon music in the background. Send what I know. Actually, I think this is other town music too, not just Senwood, but I think the track is just specifically called Senwood. Other aspects were good, but I did not watch this episode. The switching body things was too childish. Really? I don't know if I'd call it childish. It's just, your typical Pokemon plot. Mixed in with, actual plot, I guess. since we're moving on to, we know where Briar's at, which her name is Briar. It's pronounced Briar, not Briere. Like a good body swap plot, don't get me wrong, I just feel like this was truly just random. Plus, we had time to spend with the synchro machine in game for months now, so I wasn't really wowed. Oh, gotcha. Anyways, I guess I'll give my thoughts in this episode now that we got a decent amount of people in here. So, okay, episode 69 of Pokemon Horizon. So, we've arrived in Kitakami, and we're looking for Miss Briar. And, well, we can't find anyone. It turns out that, it turns out that everybody's hanging out at the festival over here, and well, it's not the festival from the games. They're doing like an apple festival, so it makes me wonder if Ogerpun is actually going to be delayed here. Maybe they're saving it for later, because it's clearly not a focus here. But anyways, they decided to head to the festival, and they could hang out, enjoy the festival, and they could gather information, but also enjoy themselves while they're there. Another thing that I want to point out here is that the festival music from the game literally is here, so I thought that was kind of neat. But Friede ends up meeting Carmine, and Friede and Carmine actually verse off in a bunch of different stalls before they eventually battle. So they're off doing their thing. So everybody else is kind of, enjoying themselves, but Roy and Crocolar get kind of distracted by a certain, I think they smell something, but it's actually this guy has the synchro machine. He's like, oh, I just found this thing. And Roy and Crocolar press it at the same time, and they end up switching bodies. And I like how they took the route of Roy talking as Crocolar. Like, Crocolar and Roy is talking like a Pokemon, and Roy and Crocolar is talking like a human. Was not expecting them to go that route, so that was neat, I guess. But Crocolar and Roy's body ends up smelling some good food and runs back to the festival. Ends up running into Liko and Dot, and they're already confused about it. They're like, "What's going on? What's wrong, Roy? Something the matter?" Then Roy shows up as Crocolar and starts speaking and freaks out everyone. So the cat's out of the bag. So they decided to try to keep this as private as possible. But they end up actually helping around at the festival inadvertently. It's actually kind of interesting. They actually hang out with like each of the Rising Volt tacklers minus the old man. We hang out with Murdoch for a little bit. We're getting some apple candies. And Roy ends up burning one of them and makes a baked one. So Murdoch has an idea to they actually have the idea to make more of them. But they're like, oh, he's sick. We need to take him away. We end up running into Molly, who's actually treating some kids. And they end up helping. And also helping out a girl that happens to be the daughter of like the leader of the village or whatever. Ends up seemingly having some feelings for Roy, which I thought was kind of interesting. Despite the fact that Roy was in Crocolar at the time. And then we end up running into Orla, and she's helping out this vendor that needs their little pan heated up so they can actually make their food. Have a little funny moment there. They end up helping out there, feeding everybody. Eventually getting back to the synchro. The guy ends up catching them. They end up, Roy and Crocolar end up switching back. But then Liko and Roy are hiding in a bush. Liko and Dot were hiding in the bush. And they wanted to switch bodies too. And as soon as Liko and Florgato try to do that, the machine breaks. Oh, and by the way, Chunky Pikachu made a little cameo here in one of the competitions that Friede and Carmine had. The main reason that Friede and Carmine were actually just, versing each other is because Friede wanted to examine Carmine's Pokemon, because he's a Pokemon professor, but she doesn't take kindly to outsiders, so they end up competing. But yeah, they're like the whole episode, and they end up battling, and she loses, of course. But anyways, we get back to the end, and it's like we end up running into Carmine again. She's like, "Oh well, you want to speak to Miss Breyer, my homeroom teacher? Well, she's at the Crystal Pool, but you have to have permission to go up there. But because they inadvertently like ended up helping out in the festival, they end up getting permission, which annoys Carmine. So yeah, there's your episode. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. This episode, it wasn't like, I don't know how to say it. I personally would say like there are aspects of this episode I liked. It's clearly a calm before the storm episode, and introducing us to Kitakami. Pokemon tends to do this, where we'll get introduced to like a new area and they just sink us in. Kind of like when we went to Glacido Mountain, we had that first episode before we went into the actual like gym battles. Kind of the same thing here. Before we get on with the plot, we're just messing around with the festival, and we have like a silly plot going on, a B plot with Carmine and Friede. And yeah, at least besides the old man, the Rising Volt Tacklers at least got some time here. We haven't really spent a whole lot of time with them, since they pretty much, weren't relevant during the Trestle debut arc. So it was nice to kind of, hang out with them again, each one of them. Old man needs something too. Hopefully he does something this arc. So, I'd say overall this was an alright episode. I like the aspects of it. The Roy Crocolar stuff was kind of funny. Not gonna lie. I was not expecting them to go that route, so. But I personally think that I'm fine with it, I guess. It made for some funny moments. So yeah, I'd say overall it's maybe like a 6 or 7 out of 10 episode. Next week's episode, we're going to be getting a potential Tinka evolution. So, before we actually make it to Crystal Pool. So yeah, it was a decent episode, I'd say. I did not hate this episode, but I did not love it either. But I do like Carmine. I like that her personality is literally the same from the games. Like spot on from the games. So that's good. That's good. Yeah. Hope to see more of her this arc. It'd be I would like it if she were the one that took us up there. Just to, have her as a guide or something, and she ends up beefing with Friede. I was expecting her to have interactions with Liko, Roy, and Dot, but they didn't really, converse with her, so maybe in the future we'll get that. But for now, it's I like the rivalry that Friede and Carmine have. It's kind of funny. And he's just beating her and everything, and she's just getting angry. So, that's probably one of the highlights of the episode is that Carmine is here, and I like that her personality is portrayed well here. Matches her game personality exactly. So, yeah, I'd say probably 6.5 out of 10 would be my score. Anyways, let's get caught back up on the chat. Yo, what's going on, Pocket Monsters? Liko and Roy's Adventure OST. I don't get why people find this episode mad. I like Crocolar and Roy switching bodies was the funniest part of the episode. How was it child? See, I don't think it was childish, but I think that I thought it was kind of interesting that they decided to have Roy and Crocolar speak like a Meowth. I didn't think they were gonna do that. So, and I like how another thing to note is that whenever they went up to some of the Rising Volt Tacklers, they would note that Roy would actually slip it, where he'd accidentally speak. Like Murdoch heard it. He's like, "Wait, did Crocolar just speak?" And then Molly heard it too. And by the time we get to Orla, he's pretty much figured out he's got to act like Crocolar. That was something that was very subtle there. I love me some Kitakami Hall, one of the best OST. Probably from the DLC, yeah. I'm also glad they swapped back. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, something, like, happens like this, it's obviously not going to stay for the whole series. Imagine if it was Crocolar, just Roy from now on. That would be kind of weird. Yeah, that's what I was referring to in a previous stream, her not liking outsiders. Yep. Maybe we'll see a certain hero again. We'll see. We did see an Ogerpun mask, but, like, the focus clearly isn't on Ogerpun and the other legendaries here. Unless it becomes relevant at some point to, like, get Cleavor or something. It's just hard to say. But if they're going to be doing anything with that. I don't know how long we're in Kitakami for. We're already going to Crystal Pool in, like, 2 episodes, so we're moving that plot along, so we'll be meeting Briar soon. But we also have Kieren too, so we also have to tackle that at some point. So yeah. Super Plush Productions. Hey, what's going on? Welcome in. What if only Dot catches a Pokemon and Liko catches Terapagos and Roy catches Rayquaza? Well, we don't know what's going to happen. Roy could catch Rayquaza by the end of this arc. There's still that chance. And then the opening teases Liko catching Terapagos, but that's to be seen. Why was Carmine mad at the end of the episode? It's Carmine. That's just her personality. Oh, Mighty G. We can only hope, Pokefan. And where is Carmi? I mean, the end of the series? I'm not sure what you mean, Super Plush Productions. Do you mean at the end of the game or at the end of this series? I'm curious to see what else we're doing with Carmine here. I hope this isn't like or Roy question Rayquaza. Oh, okay. It's possible that we get that captured this arc, but I don't know. I don't want to say yeah, it's happening, and then it doesn't happen. But titling the arc Rayquaza Rising tells me that it is a strong possibility. But it could also just go back in the ancient Pokeball too. We probably should be getting some episode titles and summaries this week, so we'll know a little bit more of what's happening after next week's episode. I mean, we kind of have to at least get, because like we're at the end of October, so we'll at least we'll know like the next episode, maybe 2 episodes. Usually the beginning of the month, like the first week, we get like a bunch of episode titles. And maybe if we're lucky, summaries. Funny how Sinistra has X's when it fainted instead of swirls. Yeah, isn't that neat? Speaking of which, we had that Friede segment where Sinistra and Sinistea actually met, which I thought was kind of neat. Can we actually get an actual interaction like in the series and not in the Friede segments? I wouldn't actually be surprised if... I think I mentioned this before. I wouldn't be surprised if Carmine actually accompanies the Rising Voltaclers, like, at the end of this arc. And if we go to Blueberry Academy, she's like, well, I gotta go there anyway, so we'll hang out for a couple episodes. I think that'd be cool. Hopefully they do more with her. Well, I already know Tinkatinka is evolving because of that preview. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, I'd be pretty shocked if it didn't evolve. Then we can meet my brother. Woo. There's a chance of that. I think we are going to spend 6 or 7 episodes in Kitakami. We could. My current estimation is anywhere between like 8 and 12 would be my guess right now. Because I feel like we're already going to Crystal Pool in 2 episodes. We're gonna meet Briere. I call her both. I pronounce it both ways, but it is Briar now, confirmed in the episode. But we also have Kieren to actually run into too. I'm wondering if Kieren is just going to be here in Kitakami. We also have to deal with Cleavor, which I guess we can assume is in Kitakami unless Kieran's in Sinnoh. So, I guess we'll figure it out. Oh, by the way, guys, since I got like 10 of you in here, it'd be really cool if you hit that like button. We're currently at 4 likes. If we could get 10 likes before the end of the stream, I would really appreciate it. Just wanted to put that out there. Get them likes up. Also, vote in the poll. We only have 8 votes right now. Let's get this over 10 votes. Let's do it. To make it happen. Okay. This was oh, hey J-Dog McFly. What's up? How are you doing? This was a fun episode. This is how you do a non-main story episode right. This was just really fun seeing the body switch. I was not expecting to see Rillaboom in the beginning. You know, I actually didn't notice that. Yeah, there was a Rillaboom hanging out there that was playing its drums. I forgot about that. A little nice detail. Yeah, I'm kind of I think it's a fun episode. I'd say it's like a 6 or 7 for me. I do think the episode is fine. These type of episodes Pokemon does a lot. Oh, we hit 9 votes. We need just one more to get to 10. I think Tinkatink might fully evolve very soon. I have a very strong feeling that Tinkatink will fully evolve. I mean, I don't think it's gonna fully evolve this arc. I think it will evolve here, and then maybe in the next arc or something, it might fully evolve. We'll see. You know what's weird? I did not watch this episode yet. Well, might wanna plan on watching it soon. Gotta keep up with the series, yo. Dang, man, how can I already be out of stuff to really say regarding this episode? Yeah, I mean, again, this is a calm before the storm episode. Let's preface this. It's a clear chill episode before we actually get further into plot stuff. But remember, guys, Carmine's here, and which is one of the reasons this episode gets at least a decent score by me. Gives you hope that a certain somebody might be showing up. But yeah, when it comes to this episode, obviously, since it's not really plot heavy or anything, it's just a silly episode. Not really a whole lot to talk about regarding it. I know next week's episode is going to be Tinkatink focused with it evolving. Maybe it becomes less of a crybaby. Maybe that's part of its evolution. It toughens up as it evolves. Oh, sweet. We are at 10 votes now. And 6 likes. Thank you, guys. Let's keep the likes coming in and keep voting in the poll if you haven't already. Dang, man, how can... Oh, wow. For once, I'm caught up on chat. I mean, I guess given that this episode was more chill, it's, you know, to be expected. So, I guess, what would you guys... I know you guys have voted in the poll, but what would you personally rate this episode? Would you give it a 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Unfortunately, too, we don't really have a whole lot of information since we don't have any episodes that we know of yet. Next week we'll know. We'll at least get one episode title. She goes from Fry Baby to throwing up gang symbols and drawing Pokeball graffiti everywhere. Dang. Wow. Between 5 and 6. Alright, that's fair. This is going to be one of those episodes where it's some people will enjoy it, some people won't. I just think that this series does these type of episodes better than the prior series, personally. And at least there's a little bit of plot significance here. We're in Kitakami, so we know that things are going to become more interesting as we meet Briar and learn more about Terapagos. And Cleavor probably will show up eventually. And then I guess we'll see if we go to Blueberry Academy. Maybe that's part 2 of this arc. And you know what's weird about that too? Is once we go into the second half of this arc, we'll be in 2025. That's crazy, yo. Time flies. This series will be this series is a year and a half old. Isn't that nuts? Okay, well, I know that this episode there isn't like a whole lot to talk about, but is there anything else you guys want to chit-chat about here? If so, go ahead and put it in the chat. Oh yeah, compared to the series that shall not be named, filler. I rather this than Operation Meowth dub. Marshtomp stuck in a hole, or Blue obsessed nuts. Yeah, I agree. I like this Zelda remix. What is it? Oh. The Legend of Chillwave. Love it. But yeah, just a reminder, if you're just joining, be sure to vote in the poll and hit that likey like button. What's the Wii Shop themed? Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, when it comes to this, I don't really have a whole lot to work with either, because, like, when you have, like, a plot-heavy episode, you can go on about different things and then theorize about stuff. Like the episode where Spinel shows up and uses Requiem. Like, we could sit there and talk about that for a whole hour. Whereas for this episode, it's like, okay, you know, this was neat. Just a little silly plot episode. But yeah. On the topic of body swaps, I really want to see, even if it's just filler, A Spike's family body swap of Lloyd and Anya's body, Yor and Lloyd's body, and Anya and Yor's body. No, that would be some fun. Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Usually a lot of the episodes that have kind of like segments or whatever, those are usually they're adapting the manga chapters that are like shorter or just in betweens, typically. Speaking of which, I need to read the most recent chapter. I've been slacking. I read the first page and then I didn't make it any further. Chapter 106. It's about Desmond's family. Harlester 3, no one's gonna be in Bond's body. And that's the twist at the end of the episode. There was a random cat or dog or something like that that switches bodies with Bond, and we don't know it until the end. We can just assume that they just switched back, and then he borfed. By the way, how's it going, Harlster? How you doing? Welcome in. Got any thoughts on this episode? I'm good. How are you? I'm doing alright. I'm a little hungry. I do have somewhere I need to be here soon, but I got a little bit of time here. But yeah, I'm doing alright. A little tired. I had a little Jamboree or Mario Party Jamboree stream last night that I got a little crazy, to say the least. It was fun, but I guess shouting a lot did a number on my vocal cords, so ugh, my throat. I was thinking they do a joke of after they swap back, Frankie comes to visit, and the event that the Forager swaps. And that's fun. That would be funny. I would love that. That'd actually be really funny. Poor Frankie. I enjoyed this episode. Fun filler. Carmine was the highlight for me this episode. Me too! And also Chunky Pikachu made a little cameo in one of their little competitions. Going up to each stall. I like how some people didn't care for this episode, but then some people found it enjoyable. So it's one of those episodes that's going to be hit and miss for everyone. Florigato, welcome in. How are you doing? Hi guys. It is the best development of Crocolar and Roy. Well, we just got Crocolar a few episodes ago, so it was a little silly episode for them. How am I supposed to get a woman if I'm a dog? That's funny. Water really does help. Just seeing the Rising Tacklers rock out the Kitakami drip was fun to me. I like Friede's outfit in particular. His one stands out. This episode made me love Crocolar more. He's a funny boy. Honestly surprised nobody made a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon reference or anything online about this episode. Yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of discussion I've seen. Okay, anyways. Yeah. Just a reminder for you guys to vote in the poll if you haven't, and hit that like button. We are 2 likes away from 10 likes. It's the like goal for the stream. Maybe we'll get there. We have 12 votes, but only 8 likes. Mainly because those games, you become a Pokemon somehow. Somehow, I became a Pokemon. And Palpatine is back. Somehow. The guys were in white. Minus Ludo. I don't remember if he was in the episode. He was in the episode. He didn't really do anything, though. He's in the background in that one image where they're all showing up at the festival. So he's there. I'll have to double check it when we get to that shot. I'm kind of looking out for it right now because I can see it in the back of my stream here. That's something I did notice. Nice. Yeah, you're right about it. Friede and Murdoch have the same outfit. Old man, I can't really tell. He's kind of hidden in the back. I'd have to re-watch the episode to see. I don't know. It matches Friede the best, I'd say. The part when Roy was running in Crocolar's... I mean, I'm pretty sure you meant body. Was funny and cute. He had to take a minute to adjust to how Crocolar actually runs. I meant to choose... I chose the wrong option in the poll. I meant to do 8-7 instead of 9-10. Gotcha. 8-7 is still winning. You know, I'm surprised. This one, 8-7 is... we didn't get anything below 8 and 7, so that's interesting. I do give this episode an 8 out of 10. Gotcha. He's obviously training a green-haired kid to use powers. Oh, wait, wrong show. Oh, yeah. He's training them to go up against the League of Villains. The League of Poke Villains. I think I saw Ludo wearing white. That would make sense. It's kind of hard to tell. I'd have to rewatch the episode because that was something I was not paying close attention to. Roy, man, you gained some weight after you evolved. Crocolar, bruh. Love it. The game over music. Give me 1 second. I think I'm gonna eat. I think I will go out for now, but I will return, I think, if I have time. Well, thank you for stopping by, Florgato. Just an FYI, I think the stream will be going on maybe like 20, 30, 40 minutes more. I do have somewhere I need to be personally, so I can't have a super long stream today, so we'll at least try to hit an hour here. So if I'm still streaming and you want to come back, you're welcome to come back, but just wanted to let you know that might be done here soon. Gotta go and might go to my niece's birthday party and give her a present. She's not in the Pokemon yet, guys. I'm sorry. Here's a fun episode idea. Chansey loses her egg, so Crocolar gives her his egg as a substitute, but eventually misses his baby and wants it back, so he gets jealous. Alright, see you, Florgato. Thank you for stopping by again. Happy birthday. Oh, thank you. Her birthday was actually, her birthday was 2 days ago, the day that Jamboree came out, actually. So, we're just doing a party for, friends and family here for a little bit. Also, Crocolar has that Riz. Yeah, it's because of that Riz that they're able to get permission to go up the Crystal Pool. So, thank you, Crocolar. The Rizzler. Oh my gosh. By the way, oh my gosh, it's a Fizzle Wizard. I'll let you know that Iona was not in this episode. Though that may be a bit of a rocky topic to talk about. I love that. I got a good laugh out of it. Yeah, you know how shipping goes in the Pokemon community. And the fights that can come out from it. Which is why I stay away from that stuff. You're free to do what you want to do. Just make sure you're not, being toxic about it. Alright, Pokefan, I gotta voice this out. Roy, quick! Throw your Master Ball! We can't miss this chance to be the Riz Master. I can't wait to see that girl's reaction if she ever finds out that it was Crocolar and not Roy. That would be funny, but I unfortunately don't think that will happen. I don't even know if we'll see the girl again. Do people really ship characters in Pokemon? Oh, buddy. You look into that, you're about to fall into a major rabbit hole. There's literally shipping names for a lot of the different characters. But yeah, somebody today shipped Friede and Carmine, and the comments of Poker for Alexa's new video. Oh no! Oh no! No! I was gonna say, isn't Carmen like? We don't have an age for her, but I'd argue that she's like maybe like senior in high school, like level age, so 17. She kind of comes off as like an angsty teenager, so I don't buy it, and I don't really see it either. I just see her just being competitive and Friede being Friede. Just wanted to know more about the Pokemon. I don't think there was any implications there. So, yeah. That exists, I guess. Someone actually said that. She's not like she's 10, but she definitely ain't an adult. Yeah, like I said, my guesstimation for her is that she's like late high school. I feel like that's about where she'd be at, like her age and her personality wise, it seems to line up too. The same with Nimona too. Then again, this academy that they all attend, like, it seems like you got like senior citizens that attend it too. So I guess people of all ages can go to school there. Then again, Onyx isn't exactly like a kid, so you know, there's that. But yeah, this kind of turned into an interesting discussion. But the bottom line is that, for those that are unaware, yeah, there is a shipping community in Pokemon, and it tends to be toxic. It tends to be very toxic. And tends to, like, okay, I won't get into this a whole lot, but let's just say Ash and Serena has a pretty big fan base, and they caused a lot of issues, and I see someone actually ended up taking their like away from my stream. I don't know if I said something that offended someone, but I'm sorry. I'm debating if I want to share it in the anipoke section because it's so cringe yet. I want to start nothing. I don't think anyone's going to get too upset, and if something does happen, you know I'm always here to... Me or my mods are there to, you know, calm the situation down, so... I don't know if you can, like, hide it or something, PokeFan, but you're free to put it in there. I'll review it, too, so... If I decide it needs to get taken down, I'll take it down, but, yeah. Bottom line, if someone wants Friede to catch a case, yeah. That's the... Friede's a pretty chill dude, I don't think he'd, yeah. I guess we'll just end that combo there. Ash X Serena. Don't get me started. Yeah. That was just bad, lol. Okay, now that we're back on subject. Kind of veered off a little bit there. But anyways, that turned into a little bit of a fun conversation there, but yeah, you learn something every day, you know. The bottom line is, Pokemon community, you know, some aspects of it are good, but then you have some pretty bad ones, and shipping is one of them. Can be good, but when people fight, it turns out pretty nasty. But then again, that kind of just shipping in general, I've just noticed in various different communities, leads to just some silly fights. So why can't we all just get along? As I'll just probably spoiler tag it and then send it, or if you want, I can do. Yeah, just spoiler tag it and I'll review it in a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I like shipping, but people take it way too far. Anyways, anyone else got a topic about the episode they want to talk and bring up? Yeah, is there anything else regarding the episode? I know, again, like I said, this is not a super plot savvy episode. It's just kind of a silly episode, you know. Carmine's introduced, Kitakami's introduced. We're gonna be heading out to Crystal Lake. Tinkatink is likely evolving. Is there anything else you want to chat about? Has Kieran been talked about? We didn't really talk about Kieran a whole lot. So I wouldn't be surprised, and this is kind of just, I guess, speculation on my part. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, you know, Carmine, she might join us, like, up the mountain or whatever, but, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, this leads us to go into like Blueberry Academy next. Like Briar is like, hey, I know some more people over at this Blueberry Academy in the Unova region that could, you know, help out with like the Terapagos research or something like that. And this is after presumably we get Cleavor or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised if Carmine overhears this and is like, hey, you know, I can help you out at Blueberry Academy. That's where, you know, I go to school. My little baby brother Kiki is currently over there, and you know, I was just back here for just a quick break or something. I don't know. Can I hitch a ride with you guys? And we get like an episode or two with Carmine on the ship. I don't know. I think that would be kind of funny. I do want to see more of her this arc. So I just wouldn't be surprised if we had the reason but besides Briar, like another reason we go there is that Carmine wants to link up with her brother or whatever and check and see how he's doing. And that's how we get introduced to Kieran in the series. But we will see. What do you think he's up to? Maybe at the academy? Yep. That's my current assumption. Seeing as he wasn't featured in like any of the promo material for this arc, it tells me that they're saving him for Blueberry Academy. The question is, what's his role gonna be there? Is he gonna have at least a decently significant one, or is he gonna be kind of like more like Nimona and Penny, where like they have, you know, their moments where they show up, but it's not as significant as in the games. It's kind of hard to say. Guess we'll see what they decide to do. I guess the question of what Liko and Dot's experience would have been if we had more time and the machine didn't break. That would actually be kind of neat to just see them like be in each other's bodies. It'd be kind of funny. It'd be kind of weird hearing on Florgato speaking and Quaxwell speaking if Dot and Quaxwell were to merge, or like not merge, but swap bodies. I always talk about my boy Kieran. Joined the cult. Carmine went to get milk and abandoned his bum. Rip Kieran. Wonder how Ogerpun is doing as well. It's unfortunate that the plotline isn't being explored at all, but it is what it is. See, that's the thing, is I've always wondered how like Kitakami and like Blueberry Academy would be integrated into the plot of Horizons. Like we kind of have to like Horizons is doing its own thing, so like I always kind of felt like throwing like the Ogerpun stuff in there and like all the legendaries and whatever we're doing at Blueberry Academy, I feel like it's gonna be like obviously not implemented like the games. Horizons is gonna tell its own story. The anime tends to do its own thing, so I'm not expecting like an exact, you know, copy over from the game. So they'll do their own thing, but it seems like the focus here is Cleavor is likely here in Kitakami. Very randomly, if I'm being completely honest. I feel like it should have been Sinnoh where it was found, but whatever. I feel like we're kind of putting it here so we avoid going to Sinnoh and running into characters that we're familiar with. But, yeah. It would be kind of neat to, like, tackle that storyline, but it's just, like, how can we put it in there now, you know? In addition to that, it wasn't featured in like the posters, so like could it be something they do in the future? Maybe, but I feel like they're doing some different things, and for all we know, Kieran has Ogerpun. Can you just imagine? I know it's a bit of a change from the games, because in the games he couldn't get Ogerpun, but just imagine if the anime went the route of him actually getting it. It's like an alternative, like storyline for him where he doesn't become edgy. Or he ends up fighting or battling Roy, loses, then becomes edgy. I wouldn't mind if like Roy and Kieran became rivals. I think that'd be pretty neat. I like Roy and Nimona being rivals, but him having a secondary rival in Kieran actually would be kind of neat. Imagine Carmine mentions Kiki as him being shy and stuff, and when we see him, it's Edgelord Kieran. I hope not. That would be a choice. I feel like you kind of got to lead to that, you know? Like the games, he kind of just starts out very shy and kind of just quiet, and then he turns edgelord because he just like suddenly just hates you. Well, not suddenly, but like by the end of the first DLC, he literally hates you. And then throughout the second DLC until the end, he like just straight up hates you and wants to defeat you. Oh gosh, now that would be an interesting to know things stream. Yeah, talking about Ogerpon. She needs to get some info on that. Viewers would be like, this is some AI generated clickbait crap, Pokemon can't speak. Oh lord. Dot getting exposed and cancelled. Nitto thing apology video. Apology streamed. Hey guys, it's me, Nitto thing. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I learned my lesson. Please. They're gonna kick me off the Bravest Doggy if I don't. What? I mean. They're gonna kick me out of the place I live that nobody totally knows where it is. So please, I beg of you, stop. I've learned my lesson. Yeah, they are exploring the Terrapagos aspects of Kitakami, which I'm assuming they'll do the same thing with the Blueberry Academy, follow the Terrapagos aspects of the Blueberry Academy story. Yeah. I think these two will be connected. Maybe that'll lead us to Area Zero, or like somewhere before we go to Area Zero. We still got to figure out where Entei is at. Probably Johto, but who knows. If he does have Ogerpon in this version, that would be so wholesome. That would be interesting. I don't know what route they're going to take. One of the things that I was disappointed in the prior series is that in the Crown Tundra DLC, we didn't get the Legendary there showing up like at all, which is really weird and definitely a choice. You'd think being, you know, a actual, you know, Legendary, it would be shown off, but no. Nope. Guess not. Oh well. Oh well. Yeah, you do need to lead into that. That's true. Yeah. Otherwise, he's just edgy there, and then you get like the backstory at some point where like Carmine has to be like, this is how it happened. This is why Kieran's so angry. This happened. They could also go that route, but I'm not a big fan of the backstory routes when it comes to that stuff. Unless it's implemented correctly. She gets banned from Kick. Yeah. You know how things go from time to time there. Also, I like your thought process of Nimona being the main rival and Kieran kind of being like a secondary rival, or even if it leads to a three-way rival between Roy, Kieran, and Nimona. Yeah, that's kind of just my thought with that. Like, you can tell that, like, Roy and Nimona are becoming, like, the main rivals there. Like, I can see, like, Dot and Penny, not necessarily rivals, but they're clearly friendly. And then I think Liko and Arven are going to probably bond at some point. I feel like that dynamic just works. I feel like we are going to get a situation eventually where Roy actually defeats Nimona. It's going to be a big moment. And then she's gonna just brush it off and want to battle him again. But that's just the way they could... That's the route they could take. It's kind of like with Ash and Alon and Sawyer. The rivalry between the two of them. Technically, like, Sawyer came first, and then Alon was later on for Ash, but, you know. Kind of like that a little bit. Literally no Clarex or the legendary Galarian form birds. We did get Galarian Moltres, though. That's pretty much it. The other two are just, like, gone. They're in the Shadow Realm. You know what? I like the current heroes, don't get me wrong, but man, imagine if Ice or Shadow Rider Clarex was one of them. Like, bro, yeah, that'd actually be... You know, they could have actually done that. You know what, PokeFan? They could have actually done that. That would have, you know... We didn't spend a whole lot of time in Crown Tundra when we were there in prior series. We could have a couple episodes where we go there and we meet Clarex as the hero. That's causing problems in that village. Or something. Or just nearby. And then we could have ran into like Galarian Articuno or something like that, and it could have helped us calm down Clarex. That would have been neat. Then again, I do like the current hero roster, so I guess I'm not like super upset about that, but you know, that's an alternative, like you know, alternative storyline. That's a route they could have taken to at least include it. And the horses too. I always forget about them. Yeah, it's kind of just funny because it's like I always forget about them too because I'm like, oh yeah, they exist as well. But since they're essentially an extension of Clarex, but yeah. He beats her in a full-on battle or just a one-on-one battle. Like he beats her Palmot this time where he was close to beating last time. Yeah, that was the one thing too, is like he actually did pretty good. Like, kind of going back to that, like he lost, but like he was actually doing like actually really well against Nemona, who is a champion level character in Paldea, which, you know, say that's a pretty big deal. And if he's actually like, you know, pressuring her, that's like really good. And this was Roy before he got a bunch of W's too, and now he's got, you know, a Crocolar now. Imagine when it fully evolves versus Palmot. And then he wins, and boom. Shows some pretty... That, to me, is good progression, you know? You start out the series with, you know, the characters not doing so hot in battles, and then they just slowly get better. And then by the end of it, they're, like, really competent trainers. I wouldn't be surprised if Liko, Roy, and Dot, like, are pretty strong by the end of the series. Not counting the fact that they might have a hero Pokemon or whatever. Like with Roy with Rayquaza. Yeah, if Roy gets Rayquaza, it's Jover. It's just Jover. He just shows up to any competition. He's like, okay, Rayquaza. Use your moves. Just flick the opposing team. You win. Roy would be unstoppable. Yeah, same again. Definitely an interesting what if idea. Yeah, it would have been neat, but I do kind of like the current hero roster, and we've already got literally Entei, Galarian Moltres, Rayquaza, right then and there, Cleavor, Orbolivia, Lapras. That's a pretty solid team. If you ask me. Also, people's thoughts on Entei. The poster shows Johto Entei, and I think that's a misleader. That it's locked, and it's locked in to be Johto Entei. I'm curious what people's thoughts about that. I think it's going to be Johto Entei, I'm not a big fan of the not big a fan of I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what its name is in Scarlet and Violet, the Paradox version of it, Gorging Flame or something like that. Or someone can put it in the chat, but I'm not a big fan. Yeah, Gorging Fire 4. I was almost there. But thank you, Pokemon. I can always rely on you. But I'm not the biggest fan of their designs. I do like Suicune's Paradox form, Walking Waked. Rayku's is actually kind of neat as well. It's basically a dinosaur. But then we get to Entei, and I'm like, that one got the short end of the stick. I mean, if it ends up being Gorging Fire, you're gonna get the EU gifts from me. So, my preference would be a Johto Entei. Okay. Wow, we actually went on for an hour. Kind of crazy. Okay, you guys got anything else for me? I probably only got another like 10-ish minutes left. Then I need to get ready and go to my niece's birthday party. I'd rather Johto Entei too, not that I hate Gorging Fire, more really just we've already done established from the preview and other stuff that it's OG. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. It'd kind of be weird if they just like switched it randomly. And suddenly it's the Paradox Pokemon, and I'm like, okay, well then why'd you show that off? I mean, if you're trying to do element of surprise, then you shouldn't have revealed it in the first place. Like, when they revealed all the heroes, I'm like, okay, that's kind of set in stone now, so... It'd kind of be weird if, like, we get to it, it's like, well, actually, we might have been wrong about, you know, this, and this. It's not Entei, it's actually Gorging Fire, okay? We made a boo-boo. Some people say that the OG Entei is a clickbait to surprise us. I'm not buying that. See, I just don't like that. Like, if they went that route and it's actually Gorging Fire, it's just like, well, then why'd you show that off? Because, like, people were probably looking forward to seeing, like, the OG Entei again. Because Entei is a pretty, you know, popular Pokemon. People like Entei. I like Entei. So I would like to see it. I get that Gorging Fire is, like, new and it represents the most recent generation of Pokemon, but, like, I like the original Entei too, so, like, if you're gonna show it off there, then go through with it, you know? Hey, look, Sonic music. I'm actually curious what is gonna happen with the Paradox Pokemon. I don't know. It's hard to say what direction we're gonna go, but I'm going to assume that when we go to Area 0, we're gonna run into a couple of them. Would be my guesstimation. Good question. We still have that Screamtail they tease in merchandise, unless that didn't mean squat. I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be relevant down the road, but like, I feel like when we eventually go to Area 0, it will be there. It's one of the more notable Paradox Pokemon. So, I'd imagine we'll run into it and a couple of others. I'm just curious if they're going to try to combine both and have like both the past and the future come in here. Gonna be interesting. Fun fact, when the hero Pokemon were first stated, I was slightly disappointed when seeing Entei was one. I was slightly disappointed. Not because I dislike Entei, it's just Raikou gets no love in the anime. Well, we did have that one, like, special. We did have those special episodes of Raikou. The one with Jimmy or whatever, the anime version of the gold and silver male protagonist. His name's actually Ethan, I believe. But he's Jimmy in the anime. Voiced by Sean Schemmel, too, Goku. I just think it's funny because I'm like, I listened to that back in the day. I'm like, hey Goku, what you doing over here in Pokemans? But then you find out that Sean Schemmel actually voiced a lot of characters in the OG Pokemon. I think he was Morrison. Ash's very last minute rival in Hoenn. Suicune or Entei. I mean, Suicune has Crystal, so Suicune gets a lot more attention to it, too. So I get your point. Imagine if they explore Area Zero, they find either Sada or Turo or even both of their bodies, and they just brush it off like, meh. Probably Halloween decorations. Dang. That'd be dark. Okay. Oh, jeez. Concurrent viewers just dropped. Entei and Suicune get a movie, but Raikou doesn't. Why? He just gets a special. The Legend of Thunder. Suicune even got caught by someone over the other two. So yeah, that's the favorite. Oh, yeah. We don't talk about that one. Probably one of the most controversial moments in the prior series. Still a decision that I am still shocked that they went through with. And especially in the manner it was caught, too. Suicune is definitely the favorite out of the three. Pokemon Crystal. Okay, still the fact that Ash did not interact with the Raikou at all is criminal to me. Yeah, that's fair. In all fairness, it was at red HP and poison, but still. Okay, yeah, that is true. However, as someone who played some of the older games and experienced the pain of trying to capture a legendary Pokemon where their HP is like almost at 0, and they're like got status effects on them, and you're throwing 50 Ultra Balls at them and they're not catching. Him catching it in a regular Pokeball, I'm just like, bro, like what is this? An actual Master Ball in disguise? Like, some of these legendary Pokemon are just like an absolute battle to catch. It takes an insane amount of patience to get them. But then Go comes here and just like, okay, I'll just catch it in a normal Pokeball. All my Pokemon just go in normal Pokeballs. It peels off and it's actually Master Ball. Someone in Go's family actually works at Sylph Corp. Or whatever. Sylph Inked. And knows the CEO and is just like, here you go, Roy. Here's a Master Ball all the time. Alright. Couldn't run. Alright, see you, Pokefan. It's been fun. Okay, do we have anything else left to talk about? We've been going on for over an hour now, and I do have somewhere I need to be. So if you have any questions here or anything you want to talk about, leave it in the chat, and then we'll answer it, and then we'll wrap things up here soon. I caught a legendary in a Pokeball once. Oh, nice. I think one time I like threw one because I'm just like, oh, whatever, and I caught one. I was like, oh, really? It is. You'll be super excited, but you're kind of annoyed because like sometimes you'll like waste all your Ultra Balls, and then you throw like a lesser one, and then it just catches. You're just like, oh, okay, game. Oh, okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Okay. Anything else, guys? Can't think of anything else to talk about. Alright. Well, if there's nothing else, then I guess we're going to go ahead and bring things to a close. I'll just say one more time, if it'd be cool if you hit that like button. I definitely appreciate it. If you haven't already. If you've done so, then you've done your part already. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and end the poll here. 871, 62% versus 38% for 10-9 with 16 votes casted. So I'm going to meet you guys halfway. How about we rate this episode a 7 out of 10? Some people didn't like it, some people liked it. So I think 7 is a good middle point, if you ask me. So, yeah. Nice Final Fantasy music. Alright, guys, let's bring this stream to a close. Next week's streams are going to be interesting. I haven't decided what I'm doing completely yet, but Banjo-Tooie is coming out next week, so we'll be streaming that. So, that's one thing for sure. Anyways, yeah. I gotta get ready and go over to my niece's birthday party now, so we'll bring the stream to a close here. So yeah, we'll figure out something. I'll put out a schedule on Monday or something, and then we'll have the schedule for next week. And also, we should be getting some information on the next episode of Pokemon Horizons, at least one episode. Then the first week of November, we should probably get like our normal episode titles and summaries or something. So we'll at least have something here soon. So be on the lookout for that too. But anyways, we're going to wrap up the stream here. So if you're still here, thank you so much for joining. Have a great day or night wherever you're at. And I will see you all later. Bye now. Hope you have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.